Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's video, there's no webcam. I do apologize. My webcam for some reason it does not want to work. So I'm already pretty late with the video recording. It's later than I typically want, so I don't want to waste more time trying to fix that. But today's video, we'll be talking about that same snowstorm we've been talking about for the past few days. There is still an absolute ton of uncertainty regarding the snowfall amounts, even really the track. There's a lot of major cities kind of on that border between the heavier and the lighter amounts of snow. So we'll definitely have to see how this unfolds. But again, for the best information, always direct yourself towards the National Weather Service. But in this case, even they themselves are really unconfident, but that's obviously very valid based on what's going on in the weather. But if you guys like this video or enjoy what you're seeing right now, check out the other videos, check out the channel, consider subscribing, as that really helps out. And if you are a returning viewer, liking the video would be awesome, so that would be fantastic. Otherwise, let's get into this. Let's start off by looking at the GFS model. So these models vary quite a bit. The high resolutions show something different. The global models show something different. So let's just go one by one as quickly and as timely we can. So notice that really it's already occurring across the Southwest, right? Arizona, New Mexico, portions of Colorado, Wyoming, sorry, not Wyoming, Utah, around the Four Corners area, seeing either rain or snow depending on the elevation. And notice that as this pushes towards into the plains, initially is very weak, right? This is 6 a.m. Friday. I want to go over this very carefully now because the timing seems relatively accurate. It's just, how this will all play out during that time. So 6 a.m. Friday. So tomorrow early morning, people are leaving for for work, the morning commute. Really not much of an issue. We see snow occurring across Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas. It's not heavy, it's not widespread. Same thing with the rain. However, throughout the day, this is now 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, so 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Just adjust it an hour or a couple hours behind. But notice, this is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we see quite a bit of rain across the central United States, the southern United States already developing. This isn't really going to be torrential rain. It's just that it's going to be so widespread over a large area. And it could possibly be a pretty slow moving at times. So notice, this is 12 p.m. This is now 6 p.m. So it's already dark across much of the United States. And even into portions of the West, because this is 6 p.m. Central, so 4 p.m. across the West. Still a little bit of light left, but again, where the storm is occurring, lots of rain developing, right? We do see some snow already starting to mix in. How quickly that snow starts mixing in is a bit uncertain. The temperatures will be very marginal. For example, today, most of the Midwest was in the 50s and 60s, so it's going to be a bit tough to see this transition occur. It has happened countless of times before, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean that the conditions are really aligned with what they were last time it occurred, which I don't really know. But again, the Midwest is known for its crazy weather. One day it's 60, another day it's snowing, and in this case it's not an exaggeration. Sorry about the squeaky chair, but notice that into southern Wisconsin, Iowa, and Nebraska, we start seeing some snow breakout, right? The system then kind of shifts further to the south. It really almost stalls out. Notice that throughout the day, Friday, this is 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and 12 a.m., it really doesn't do a whole lot of moving. Lots of rain falling, and it has quite a bit of snow starting to develop. Again, the GFS is one of those models that shows lesser amounts of snow with this system. Compared to other models, it's one of the models that shows the least amount of snow. But to be honest with you, the GFS and really any other global model has done a pretty poor job at this system. So I'm really not buying what it's showing in terms of the snow. I think it will be a bit more present, but I do also think that a lot of the high resolution models are showing too much snow. And again, where that exactly falls between that too little and too much is the big question. Notice that by 6 a.m., so really the coldest time of Saturday, we see a lot of snow starting to develop across Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and this continues into portions of Michigan, more of Wisconsin, northern Illinois. And this system is now at 999, so it's really borderline breaking through the thousands. It's not really strong, but it has a lot of precipitation to work with, which makes it dump a ton of rain where it's raining and a lot of snow where it's snowing. The GFS doesn't advocate for that snow, but notice it moves into southern Canada. This is now really late Saturday into early Sunday morning, and you can see lots of rain occurring. So most of the day across Saturday will be rainy across Ohio, Indiana, Michigan. And notice that only moves out by the time it's early Sunday morning, but snow across southern Canada. Much of the Northeast may begin with a bit of snow, or sorry, parts of the Northeast may begin with a little bit of snow, but then much of it transitions over to rain. And what I do want to point out, that second phase of the system I was referring to, is this system right here. Now, I was considering making a separate, kind of, oh, this is another snow system, but really, they're kind of all part of the same flow, these two systems, and it doesn't really do much once it passes through the west. So notice, Utah, Nevada, into Colorado, northern New Mexico. It dumps quite a bit of snow into portions of Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has seen more snow this year than Chicago and Milwaukee combined, and this may add on to that. And the thing is that I would make a separate video on this, about the system, if this, evolved into a big storm across the east. But really, the models don't do much with it, and the GFS is online with the rest of the models. No big snowstorm is shown out of this. Now, there's a potential this could become something big, right? But notice, it just turns into rain. A little bit of snow across the higher elevations, then it just drifts off. So, this, if you want to go over the snowfall amounts, I'll include them from this little system as well. And notice that from this first storm, again, the GFS doesn't show a lot of snow. And don't be looking at this and being like, that's what's going to happen, because even the National Weather Service doesn't really think the GFS is accurate with that. Northern Michigan really seems to be getting a lot of that snow, and almost all models agree with that. Same with Canada. Not really Iowa, Nebraska, or Wisconsin. It's kind of, the models are differing on that. But notice that second wave of snow into portions of the Texas Panhandle, southwestern Kansas, and into Oklahoma. Oklahoma City may even be getting finally some snow out of this. If you recall, the previous snow events have been more snowy towards the north and west. And notice 4 or 5 inches into portions of Oklahoma, into maybe even southwestern Missouri. We'll have to see how that unfolds. Now, let's take a look at some other models. The Canadian. Let me just show you the total snowfall. Just a whole different story. Way more snow across Iowa, into Nebraska and Wisconsin, into portions of northern Michigan. And really, again, the main difference is Canadian shows much more snow earlier on with the system, not waiting until it's into Canada before developing that heavy snow. So notice that as we play the Canadian forward, what we see is that storm system developing, again, relatively same time frame. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, 6 p.m. in afternoon. More rain across Milwaukee, Chicago. Even areas that may see heavy snow probably will start off as some rain, as the system has these type of characteristics. And it has a lot of moisture from the south working from it. So it's especially since today there's 50s all over the place. So it's gonna be a little bit hard for that snow to initially fall, but once it does cool down and that cold wave from the north comes through, it will definitely be capable of producing quite a bit of snow. Now, I do apologize. The chair is trying to say its own forecast, and it's just saying to be safe. I just wanted to let you guys know that's what the chair is saying. All right. Obviously, that was a joke. I'm not crazy. There's it's a running joke on his channel for those that are new. But notice that as we push this into forward time, all right, calm down. As we push this into forward time into Saturday, right? This is now early Saturday morning. We see snow, pretty heavy snow across Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, into Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and notice into southern Canada, obviously, as well. It does, most models agree with that second wave pretty well. Snow into Oklahoma City, maybe even to portions of Wichita, a bit further to the south. Heavier snow amounts, obviously, more likely Dodge City, cities like those, even Goodland, seeing some snow. Amarillo, kind of on a northern cusp, but we'll see. And then into southern Missouri, they may get some snow, depending on this how this arranges. But again, the models can't really, get along on this system, let alone the second one. But I showed you the Canadian amounts. Let me just quickly glance at them again, or show you them. Well, there we go. You can see that we have, again, quite a bit of snow across these locations. Anywhere that pink is, that's 6 inches plus. So this is through 6 p.m. Saturday, and notice, Sunday. And notice that, again, lots of Iowa with this scenario, almost getting towards that foot amount. Lots of southern Wisconsin, really 4 to 7 inches. And then with that second wave, Colorado seeing quite a bit. The mountains obviously more. That's combined snow with this first one and that second one, but some locations, well over a foot. And even into Oklahoma and Kansas, we could be seeing some amounts approaching the 5 inch plus amount. But really, all models agree on the fact that southern Canada will be in for a absolute, a pretty good snow system. And I do have viewers from Canada. People sometimes ask why I go over Canada. Again, I have viewers from Canada, and that should be enough said. So obviously, the amounts here will be heavier as that system gets stronger, 10 to even 15 inches. Some models show. Now let's take a glance at another model, GFS Parallel. This model is definitely the oldest. It comes out once a day and it comes out at midnight, so this is now 17 hours old. Notice it does not show a lot of snow across the Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois area, but it shows quite a bit across Michigan and a load of snow across Canada. Now, this isn't really affecting the larger cities. They're a bit further to the south, but Quebec could get on some of this, and there's still folks that live here, and notice that it's a foot of snow plus. The GFS Parallel really emphasizes a lot of snow across Kansas and Nebraska, even some amounts into the 6 inches plus, but what it does do is it kind of keeps it a bit further towards the north, if you see the heavier amounts of snow. And if you're to take a look at the MSLP and precip, let's wait for this quickly to load. Okay, there we go. So we have this system again. The GFS Parallel indicates that it sees the system struggling to develop its snowy side up until Michigan into Canada. But it has that second wave further to the north, again affecting maybe Wichita, Kansas City, southern Missouri instead of Oklahoma. So there is quite a bit of deviance still, obviously, and it tries developing something more significant in the parallel model, which we'll just have to monitor. But again, you saw the amounts of snow with that. Let's take a look at the European model now. The European model is definitely an interesting situation. It definitely shows signs of I guess non-agreeance with the other models. So let's run this through. This is pivotal weather now. Again, this was from the new model run, the latest one. Develops that system, same timing. This is Friday afternoon, night into Saturday, early Saturday morning. Lots of rain, and even if that snow doesn't occur across, say, northern Illinois, there will be an absolute ton of rain, even 2 to 3 inches across northern Illinois, northwestern Indiana. You could see that the European really with ease, it says that the storm will develop a snowy side into southern Wisconsin, into Iowa, portions of Nebraska, and Kansas. Notice, again, that this system is pretty weak, but it has a lot of moisture. Very strong potential winds right here. I don't think there will be blizzard, but definitely some gusty winds. And obviously, there could be some lake effect as well. Notice, very snowy side. That is very heavy snow across Michigan into southern Wisconsin, maybe even northern Illinois. And this pushes off into Canada. Then notice that's that second wave the European shows, agreeing with the other models that keep it further to the south, so Amarillo, Oklahoma, even into portions of southern Missouri, as you can see right there. And it tracks it, but doesn't do much out of that. However, it takes another system and blows it up into a nor'easter, as you saw earlier. I kind of glimpsed over that. We'll definitely have to monitor that, as that is interesting. It's a bit too early, as this is only the first few times it's showing it, the European, but it's been kind of on and off with that, so we'll have to see. But just to show you the snowfall amounts from the European model, let's take a glance at this. From this first system and the second wave, notice even portions of northern Illinois seeing heavier amounts. Again, the European more heavy towards those areas. Iowa, 8 inches of snow. Same thing with Wisconsin. Heavier amounts towards Michigan, a widespread almost a 9-inch event. And then with southern Canada, takes again pretty far to the south, affecting the larger cities. But notice Oklahoma, Kansas with that second wave also seeing some areas 4 or 5 inches. Oklahoma City, 3 to 4 inches. Amarillo, 1 to 3. Even southern Missouri seeing a bit of snow. We'll have to see how that unfolds. And obviously, if that nor'easter were to occur, that would be an absolute blockbuster. Notice New York a foot, New York City a foot, Boston over a foot, Philadelphia. So we'll have to monitor that. That may be exciting, but again, I think it's a bit too early to make any assumptions. Now, I want to go over some of the high-resolution models, as that's what's really interesting. And I know this video is already getting long. I've been trying to go pretty quickly, but there's just such little confidence on this storm. Unfortunately, we just have to do this. So let's take a look at the NAM 3KM. This is a relatively high resolution model. Notice this is the time right here, 8 p.m., 10, 11, 12 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We start seeing snow develop across Colorado, some light rain as well. NAM 3KM definitely showing quite a bit of precipitation. It usually shows a bit more aggressively than it usually occurs or usually happens. Notice we see a very strong stream of rain develop across central United States tomorrow early to mid-morning hours. And we also see quite a bit of snow across Nebraska, Kansas, and into Colorado. This then you could see develops a pretty nice band of snow. Not a single high-resolution model struggles with showing the snow like the global ones. So that's a bit concerning. That shows us that there may be, some heavier amounts of snow, way higher than any of us expect, just by looking from the global models. But notice, much of Chicago, for example, is in rain, but even if it's a bit further to the south, it could, impact more people. Same thing with Milwaukee. It's really, you could see that rain will be coming off the wind will be coming off the lake, right? So whether or not that lake has an impact to change that over to rain versus snow is a huge deal. Dubuque, Iowa on that border, Des Moines on that border, Kansas City. I mean, there's just so many large cities. This thing could be a disaster to forecast, and I just feel sorry for the National Weather Service, to be honest with you. And notice that as we push this into portions of late Friday, early Saturday, the snow continues across Iowa, Wisconsin, into northern Michigan, and into Kansas City, seeing some snow. And this is where it could make a big difference. See, there's a wraparound, and most models are showing this. How far this low tracks to the south, could, for example, determine how much snow Chicago sees. It could even have 1 to 3 inch amounts if this tracks further to the south. Further to the north, maybe portions of Green Bay will see snow and Chicago won't. And same thing goes with, Kansas City if it goes a bit further to the south. And Des Moines, Iowa if it goes further towards the north. So, I mean, there's a lot at stake here. And notice that the NAM 3KM does start showing that second wave. Taking a look at the total snowfall from the NAM 3KM, notice some pretty high amounts. It shows widespread 1 foot plus across Michigan and varying amounts of between, I would say, 4 to 10 inches across much of Iowa and Wisconsin, but many areas also saying 2 to 3. So again, how that transition occurs is really going to be important. The NAM 12KM, kind of the bigger model of the NAM 3KM, goes out further. Notice it shows a decent snow across Kansas and Oklahoma with that second wave, but also a very large system from that first wave. I don't think there will be 15 inches across Wisconsin. I think it will be far-fetched to get a foot across isolated locations, let alone widespread. But you could see that the NAM 12KM is definitely favoring that high end amounts of snow. Notice this model pushes snow into Wisconsin, into southern Canada, so that would obviously include the bigger cities, Ottawa, Montreal, and even Quebec, seeing some snow out of this, if this were to come true. And let's take a look at the RJ model. This is the Canadian model, and notice that it also keeps the snow a bit further towards the south. And what it also, you can see, it takes it right into Quebec right there, which is impressive. And quite a bit of snow across Iowa, Wisconsin, that's reaching 6-7 inches. Quite a bit across Oklahoma and into Kansas, so that's definitely also something that we'll have to watch for. Definitely lesser amounts, though, across Michigan. In general, this high-res model is more like the global models. But, again, there are just countless high-resolution models that are showing some pretty heavy snow. You can see this is our HRDPS, relatively a really good model, oftentimes utilized. And notice that it doesn't even take us through this whole event. It's still snowing across northern Illinois and may very well transition some of that in Chicago across snow. I want to take a look at some offices now, some National Weather Service offices for some larger cities. This is what they're forecasting right now for Milwaukee. Notice, it's more of what the GFS is showing, kind of the lighter amounts. And you may be wondering why. Well, the thing is, it's way easier for them to start off smaller, and then if the amounts, look to be growing, they'll just add on more snow. And honestly, that's reasonable. That's what I would do as well. However, I don't really have much to lose. I'm a YouTuber, if you will. So I just try giving you the potentials, right? But if they try giving the potentials and they show, potentially a foot of snow if everything goes right, or, towards the snow amounts, then people will be like, oh, you called for 10 inches, never happened. So they will just, increase these amounts as they have been doing much of this day. Today it started off with 1 to 2 across these locations. Probability-wise, let's go to Milwaukee. Notice the range is massive, even for the expected snowfall. Look at that, 1 to 6. So a lot of people may be looking at this and being like, oh, what's the point of them forecasting? 1 to 6, anybody could figure that out. Well, yes, but again, it's just at this point, that's kind of what it is. Anybody can take a guess and may be right. Notice Kenosha, 0 to 3 inches. I mean, that's a massive range. That's just a massive, massive range. Milwaukee, 0 to 4. Madison, 1 to 6. There's even earlier amounts that are showing 2 to 7. And if you're to take a look at their low end versus high end amounts, it's just literally it's comical. I mean, look at this. 0 is what it could be if it's very unlikely, and this is also equally as unlikely. But look, I mean, you know, widespread 8, 9, 10 inches, showing what the high resolution models mimic. So you know, again, I said this is. I feel sorry for these offices. And this is Des Moines, Iowa. A bit less of a extreme, right? They're showing 3 to 4, 2 to 3, but still relatively a high average or high kind of range. 1 inch is the low end amount, and the high end is, you know, 5, 6 inches across the Iowa. Again, we'll just have to monitor this. It doesn't look exciting in terms of their credibility, because people like to, you know, undermine it whenever they can. But notice that the expected for, say, the Chicago area is less than 1 high-end amount, maybe 2 to 3 inch amounts across the north. I know I do have some Chicago viewers. For you guys, I just want to say it definitely looks as if you know, the southern suburbs won't be seeing much of anything, maybe an inch really, but that's you know, towards the north, the higher amounts of that. But again, there could be a scenario where it's like this and no one sees anything, and they're showing that as a possibility. So we'll just have to keep an eye to the sky. If you guys want to look at your own models and you're kind of new to this, the one model I would suggest looking at is the HRR model, HRR model. This model comes out every hour, and every 6 hours it goes out to 48 hours, which is, it's loading in right now. Provides the best information usually. It's obviously still inaccurate, but it's good. So just load up tropical tidbits, and obviously please refer to the National Weather Service, as they are your best source. Otherwise, that's it for me today, and I'll catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye.